Are your kids a load of garbage? Has social media scrolling and clicking and liking turned them into the very lumps that you feared yourself they would turn out to be?
Well, search no more, good sir, because I have the answers.
Hello guys, how are you doing? In today's video, I'm going to tell you the 3 top places that are best to raise your children. This video is really for people who are planning to raise a family or already have young kids or who have older kids who are just quite frankly pieces of crap. The reason I decided to make this video is because I have a friend who is planning to raise a family, and we got into a conversation about where to raise kids and where is the most holistic, most well-rounded place to raise your kids so that they grow up to be, you know, stand-up figures in society. I was like suggesting different countries to him. I was like, you should move to this place and that place. And he was like, dude, what's the point in you having a YouTube channel if you're not going to make a video suggesting where I should raise my kids, seeing as you've lived in 8 different countries and you don't stop telling me you've lived in 8 different countries, because that's really the only interesting thing about you. It's true. It really is the only interesting thing about me. Anyways, I'm going to give you the top 3 countries I think are best, absolute best, hands down best to raise your kids. So, strap up kids, we're going on a ride. The first country is Malaysia. I lived in Malaysia from 1999 to 2001, and I can say I have some of the fondest memories of my childhood. Malaysia is a beautiful mix between liberal and conservative. Where in Thailand, it's super liberal and you gotta be covering your children's eyes every single corner you turn, and where Indonesia is a little bit more conservative, Malaysia has that perfect mix between westernized influence and also conservatism. So the kind of kids that your children will be surrounded by will be really balanced in terms of their values. They will be open enough to have a good time and enjoy things that Western people do, but they will have those conservative values set in within them enough to not go too far and to not influence your children to kind of go off the rails and do crazy things. Malaysia also has an amazing outdoor life. Usually people live in condominiums, which are high-rise buildings set in a certain community that surround swimming pools and green areas and cafes. And my memories of being in Malaysia are me literally running around, hardly ever seeing my parents, getting home and just like knocking on my friend's door and just being outside the whole time. So your kids will have a really free outdoor life without you having to monitor them all the time. Lastly, with Malaysia, holiday destinations, hands down. Your salaries may not be amazing, but the holiday opportunities are unreal. Honey, you will be jet setting to Tioman Island, Perhentian Island, sipping coconuts in Bali, eating lechon in Palawan, in your sunglasses, living the dream, honey. The opportunities to travel are great because flights are cheap and the countries that surround are so very beautiful. I remember when I was in Malaysia, my parents didn't get the best of salaries, but they were able to fly to all of these different islands with us, and accommodation isn't that expensive. So your kids will get a really amazing childhood experience being able to see all of these different cultures and these different islands, and who doesn't want their kids to have wonderful childhood memories. The second one, okay, I'm a little bit biased because I'm from this country, but hear me out. I have hard, cold facts to prove this to you. It's not just based on what's in here. There was a statement released that came to find that Cyprus is one of the safest countries in the world. So that is a great reason for your kids to grow up in Cyprus, because you will be able to allow them to run outside, run amok, have that old school neighborhood life that you really envisioned for your kids. It also is an environment that allows for a very simple upbringing. If your kids are so infiltrated with all of these different social media things and they're living in this big city life and you just want to cut back to basics and want your kids to stay innocent, then this is a great place to be. My niece and nephews have grown up here in Cyprus, and I tell you, it's so beautiful to see how innocent they have remained, because even though it's westernized in Cyprus, the communities really care about the children and having them enjoy really holistic things like going on hikes and really like naturey things. That purity that children have will last a lot longer, and I know that for a fact because I've seen it in my niece and nephews. The third thing is that the government is very caring to its residents. Cyprus has a pattern of making really difficult decisions in order for the well-being of their residents. An example of this is the way they dealt with coronavirus. I went through this personally. They have taken really drastic measures to contain it while also taking very good care of us. They put us up in a beautiful hotel when I was repatriated from the UK. They fed us and they just made sure we were really okay. So you know that if you live in Cyprus and you are a long-standing resident and any crisis happens in Cyprus or around the world, your kids and you will be taken care of. Now the third is Saudi Arabia. Now hear me out. Now, I know you're raising your eyebrows. I know you're tutting. I know you're like,
The hell? How is this boy about to tell me that I need to raise my kids in Saudi Arabia?
Saudi Arabia is probably the one that I'm most convinced of. I think that Saudi Arabia is a fantastic place to raise your children, and I will tell you exactly why. I was living there for the entirety of my teenage years, from the age of 13 years old all the way up to 18. You live in a compound that is walled off by high security, and this compound is like a haven. I've spoken about this before a little bit in my last video about me living in Saudi, but to go into a little bit more detail, oh my God, like you have swimming pools in there, snack bars, skate parks, cinemas. You have everything that a child could dream of, and not only that, you have organizers within that compound organizing fun events, community events for the parents, sports days. You've got special screenings of movies and swimming galas, and it's just such a nice sense of community. You get to know everyone. Always riding my bike, always outside. When you're in the UK or America, kids want to party. And the thing is, in Saudi, there isn't access to that kind of stuff, but they still make it fun for kids and fun for teenagers. They have cleaner fun, let's say. Let's just say that. You get paid a better salary. Like, the salaries are really good in Saudi, and you can get jobs in the education industry, as a teacher, as an engineer, in the oil industry, in the marketing industry, as a doctor. They give you an amazing package deal, so you get like a house, you don't have to pay for rent, sometimes you get a car, you get to go to nicer doctors and be able to afford nicer things for you and your kids. So that is a big bonus. And finally is education. Saudi Arabia has some of the best schools. The school I went to was so good. It was an American school on an American consulate campus. The campus was huge, and this is not only that school. Other schools have humongous campuses too. The teachers are brought from all around the world, and students are super international. You get kids from Pakistan, the UK, America, China, Malaysia, like from everywhere. So your kids will get a really diverse upbringing, and so they'll be adaptable to loads of different children, right? So that's going to be really beneficial for them, especially graduating. Like, I know that for me now, I can move anywhere and I'll have someone to be able to relate to, right? Because that's the amazing thing about being a third culture kid. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. I know you started off thinking that Saudi Arabia was a crazy place for me to suggest, but I know that you have been convinced otherwise, so say no more. I hope to see you on the flight with Saudi Arabian Airlines very soon, my friend. Let me know if you have any other questions about these countries or other countries in regards to raising your kids abroad. I'll be happy to answer them. Leave in the comments your dream country to live in. And if you like to learn about different cultures through vlogs, docu-series, and advice videos, then click that subscribe button, honey. Yeah. Click it. Yeah, you know, that red one down there. Don't know how to do it? Oh, okay, so put your hand on that mouse. Yeah, move it down. A little bit further down. Yeah, click. Well done. Good job. You did well today. A star for you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope that was helpful, and I will see you for the next video. Bye.